Anambra, home to the largest commodity market in West Africa, home to the first indigenous vehicle manufacturing company in Nigeria, fourth largest economy in the country, populated by homely, accommodating, strong and hardworking people, the commercial and industrial center of Nigeria has sadly become the erosion capital of the world, a menace that threatens every day to sweep away a race and engulf their land.
We've been crying over the years over this devastation of our land by gully erosion. We've cried so much that it used to be said that people are suffering and smiling. We are suffering and no longer smiling. We are suffering and no longer crying because we are tired of crying. Where do you cry to? We've done everything that is within our own limit to check the erosion, and nothing seems to make it abate.
There is no word one can use to describe it more than devastation, because I don't know what else to say. Many people have left their homes, where so many are now in exile because their houses have caved in, and you can even see some debris of those houses scattered all over, and more are still trying to go in.
It's a very painful one, you know. If I reflect back in what has been happening, you know, is ravaging, you know. If I may quote my governor, he used to say that there should be state of emergency in Anambra State in terms of erosion control, you know. In the recent times, the types of Oga incident, the one at Nkisi, the one at Nnewi, and so many of them, you know.
It comes unannounced, destroying all in its path. It swallows farmlands and consumes homes. It has rendered many homeless. More have been forced into exile, abandoning ancestral homes, fleeing from the insatiable monster. They are a bold and courageous people, and for more than 100 years, they have battled this destructive monster. They have fought to the last man, every one of them a warrior.
We've lost so many houses within this area. It has removed many houses of the Ekwulumili compound and others. The suffering has been tremendous, so much so that the feeling has become numb. They seem to share no more feelings except praying day and night, hoping that you wake up and find your house still there. We cannot take it anymore, but there's nothing we can do.
Go to some of the villages in Nnewi village. You see mansions hanging like this. Go to Bosi side. It is universal in Anambra State. But our people are still living there, their children going to school, waiting for sometime they will come back or sleep in the night. The house will be washed away.
Every day in the last 3 weeks, I've received at least 12 calls from different communities, different individuals who are really, really under the threat of erosion. Houses are caving in. I mean, around the state, we have not less than 900 erosion sites that are active and are waiting for intervention.
The history of erosion in Anambra State dates back to the 1900s, when most of Africa was yet under colonial rule. The fight to contain the ravaging gullies were fought by the colonialists and locals alike.
Like the one behind that narrow stadium, which has been the oldest erosion site in West Africa. That's where you have erosion camp. The white men came in there and built a camp and cordoned off those areas, and they started planting cashews. Their initial plan was to relocate Nanka, even up to Nnewi, to Equatorial Guinea. And when I asked my father, who works as a laborer with the white men then, what they normally say, the cause of erosion is the soil texture and the topography. I'm telling you, if colonial master from 1914 saw that we are in danger, and when they left after independence, we believe nothing has happened. That's where we are today.
Tree planting, ridge making, digging of catchment pits, and water holding troughs were methods used in checking flooding and consequent erosion of the soil. As years passed, the need for proper channeling of drainages became expedient as erosion continued to defy all measures that have been deployed to check it. Like a cancer, it has continued to eat through the soil, destroying homes and endangering lives and property. Past governments, both colonial and indigenous, have fought this monster, making great efforts to save the people and their land. The battle yet continues as the monster, like a hydra, grows more heads once one is caught.
We are reputed to be the world capital of erosion with about 967 active erosion sites. It's a major problem, but the government is doing the most it can do out of its own little resources.
The cancer and the cancer of the soil, to my own understanding, immediately you cut here, the next day is the other side of you. Whether we like it or not, the erosion problem is in Anambra is beyond the state government. No state government, even if we are already producing, can afford to control, solve the erosion problem in Anambra State.
From Oko to Ekwulobia, Nanka to Agulu, Oga to Amichi, and up to Nnewi, the monster ravages. The ravenous devourer has taken the battle to Onitsha, Amobia, all over Anambra State. The earth eater consumes. No community is spared, even Oka, the state capital.
I don't have too many years more to live, but I would be happy to witness the beginning, the initiation of something being done to check the situation as it is now.
Anambra is in grave danger. It is a twin threat of horrific devastation by erosion on one hand and the menace of flooding on the other. The coastal communities of Anambra State, covering Ogbaru, Onitsha North and South, Anambra East and West, and Ayamelum local government areas, are perennially submerged by torrential flooding. Every year, the fishing communities and large farm settlements in the coastal communities who constitute the food basket of Anambra State are submerged by heavy flooding, which washes away lives and livelihoods and leaves a trail of sorrow in its wake.
At least about 40% of the citizens of Anambra live in mortal fear of the threat of erosion and flood. Somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1.5 million people have been displaced. Approximately another 500,000 have been displaced based on gully erosion threats to their homestead. 36% of the state is actually submerged in flood. With every rainfall comes the number of climate IDPs increases. Now, the climate change impact increases rainfall as well as the onset of erosion, and therefore we are in a place where we really are unable to really meet the demands and respond appropriately to the people who need help. As at last count, we have somewhere in the neighborhood of about 300 billion naira quantified in terms of losses, and these are actual losses attributed to flooding, attributed to erosion devastation of factories, of small businesses around the states that now are no longer in existence. So jobs have been lost, livelihoods have been lost. I can't imagine the emotional and mental torture that these families go through every day. And so the dimensioning of this problem is significant. Not only are we talking about erosion and flood, we're talking about a humanitarian component of all of this. Displacements, hunger, diseases. Where do we want to start? It's not something that the Anambra State government, in all its resources, can manage to stretch. We need all the help we can get.
The people are besieged. There's no escape. They have fought tirelessly but have now resigned to fate. To abandon their ancestral home is an abomination. They would rather live, fight, die, and be buried in it than flee. From time past, they have sworn to protect Ani, sacred and deified in certain aspects of their culture and tradition. Sadly, the same land they fight and will willingly die for is the devourer that consumes them.
We need help. Anambra needs major help on erosion.
We are pleading with the World Bank, EU, and the federal government as well.
Because people are dying, people are crying, people are in exile, leaving their ancestral home.
We need them to beg the international community, please, it's either now or never, because otherwise the entire human race that side will be wiped out.
Please, help. Today.
Starting all over again, it's gonna be rough, so rough, but we're gonna make it, yeah. Starting all over as friends, it's gonna be tough on us, but we gotta face it. We lost what we had, that's what hurt us so bad.